Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hi. Hello, everyone. Hi, like, subscribe, join membership. Hi. Happy Saturday. Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. Hi. How are you? Happy Saturday. Hi. Hey, how are you? Happy Saturday. Hello. Hi, hi. And I like to keep my lips moisturized with some products. Um, these are the Tom Fords. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. Like, subscribe, join membership, and if you need lip stuff, these are the Tom Fords. I have these on as well as this. Yeah. Anyway, hope everyone's doing well. Happy Saturday. Okay. Hug. Hi. Thank you. Yeah, you missed me. Me too. I missed you too. Hug. Hello, hi. What's your time zone? What's your time zone? It is 12:36 p.m. here where we are. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yep, the sun is out. It's very sunny today. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Like, subscribe, join membership. Yeah. Yeah. Hello, hi, hi. Like, subscribe, join membership, and if you need your lips moisturized, uh, yeah. Hi, hi. I'm wearing Darth Vader. Or is it, what? Maybe not Darth Vader. But yeah. Dark side, yeah. I'm wearing Darth Vader. Darth Vader! I wear Darth Vader's shirt. Hi! Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Hi, hi. How are you? How's everyone? Happy Saturday. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, and if you want your lips moisturized and comfortable, then they have these are kind of like lip gloss, but like pigmented lip gloss. Link is over there. Yes, I earned commission. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, hi, hi. Okay, I'm gonna just be practicing some stuff. Today I have to actually practice seriously. Let's see, what's this? Thank you. Haha, thank you. Thank you. Irv Talho says, think C's Claire de Lune is perfect. Oh yeah, my Claire de Lune is perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I love this piece. I love this piece because, you know, do you know how strategic this piece is? I don't know if you saw yesterday's live stream. I've awakened you to Shinopedi Sati. That was yesterday's. I actually don't want to awaken you to everything. But let me just tell you one thing about Claire de Lune. It is very strategic. And it's very well planned out. That's why it's so popular. It's actually a work of, you know, if something is considered perfect, in terms of strategic stuff, this is perfection. And you know, people say there's better works by Debussy. Obviously, you know, there are more innovative works by Debussy, as we know, right? Because Debussy is, you know, the one that started post-tonality. You know, very monumental figure in all of music. But yeah. Yeah, this piece is very strategic. But I won't awaken you to Claire de Lune. I did awaken you to Shinopedi yesterday. And I guess Moonlight too, but The piece well, if you've studied music enough, you've heard of ternary, binaries, sonata allegro forms, etc. This is actually close to something called the mirror form, where you have, you could take the piece and then fold it in half And then the middle section, starting from the middle section, you'll start getting the beginning again. So that's how I interpret it. I interpret the Clair de Lune as a mirror image piece. That's all I'll say, because I've already awakened you to Je ne peux dire, but I don't want to awaken you to any more than that. But it's a very interesting form because what you hear at the beginning, you'll hear at the end. So it's like beginning, and then middle, and then middle, and then sort of like the beginning as it ends. That's why it's mirror image. Pretty cool, right? For those of you who are very big fans of this piece, you understand why it's special, because it's like a mirror. You fold it in half, and then it's kind of like, have you ever done this in your elementary school class, where you like make butterflies but with like paint? You put the paint in the middle, or you fold the paper in half, and then you draw one side, and then you fold it, and then when you open it, the next part is the same as the first page. The next page is the same as the first page, because you went like this and then opened it. For those of you who know, this piece is like that butterfly that you do in grade school arts and crafts class, where you like paint one side and then you press it together, and then the next part is the same as the one before, but in mirror image. And that's what this piece is. It's mirror image of. So if you look at the events that happen, you'll realize that it sort of returns to the way it was, because it's mirror image. Yeah, I won't say anything more than that, but it's cool enough. I mean, just that in itself is just that in itself is pretty cool, I feel like. Yeah. So this piece is in mirror image. Yeah. You fold it in half, and you open it again, and that's this piece. It's everything you go through from the beginning is going to be same at the end, including, so it goes beginning, middle, and then kind of like the beginning. Mirror image. Pretty cool, right? Hello everyone, like, subscribe, join membership. You get to learn more about classical music, and you get to be awakened to a lot more of the inside facts about the popular pieces that you all love so much. Like, subscribe. I see. Yes. It is cool. Yes, thank you. Yes. So if anyone, if you want to have if you're having an intelligent conversation with a professional musician sometime, you might want to say, hey, so that Debussy, the really famous one, it's in mirror form. Yeah. And I could explain to you, I could run you the parts so that you know how it's mirror image, right? The more you know, the more you could hear. I'm Buck. I'm Buck. Buck. Your list. That's funny. So the beginning part then at the very end page of you could even copy paste the ending part to the beginning part and it would still sound, it wouldn't sound jumpy at all, right? Great. And then you have this tempo rubato part. Now, this part is going to be a little bit original. It doesn't really belong anywhere. And that is because that is a very special section. I won't get into the details, but let's just say that this is kind of like it's what sets the motions going. Yeah. Anyway, but you see un poco mozo. Yeah, it's this section. So even if even if this follows the other section, there's not much of a, oh, what happened? You won't get this like jolt that, right? So even if I just jumped from that section to this section, you'll realize that it kind of belongs together. So if I just jump to you see how it we've jumped an entire section, but it melds together quite well, right? Because it's in mirror image, and that's the matching part, right? And then you have and then this middle section doesn't belong with the other two. The return of the theme, right? Then there you have it, mirror image. Now, there's actually this section, the tempo rubato and o anima are related. And I won't get into the details as to why they're related, but they are related. But broadly speaking, this falls into the category of mirror form. I hope you found this interesting and fascinating. Like, subscribe, join membership. Yeah, I'm awakening you to the truth of these famous, beloved, famous pieces. That's the truth of it. This is a mirror image. It's very special. Now, I said that the tempo rubato and ennuiement are related. Well, they are related. The format is different, but there are similarities in the language, in the content. So the tempo rubato and ennuiement are in they don't look at first like they're related, but they are related. This one is these two sections contain similarities in the function of what they signify. Another thing to note, aside from the fact that this is mirror image, there's actually what we call, when you have a variation, the theme is maybe in half notes, and then variation 1 may be in quarter, and then variation 12 will be in 16th notes. It's because it speeds up, the note values speed up. Now, this is a similar kind of thing happening in this piece, is that you have regular, even, yeah, and then you start getting triplets. That's 3. So you have 2, and then you have 3. And then guess what? This is 4. Except it's 6. But it's like that, when you increase, right? And then this chops the 6 into half, meaning it speeds things up even more, because things are happening instead of and then you get to the 6, and then you get the 6 back and then you get the 6 back because it's in mirror image. With the remnants of the 6. And then the remnants of the sixth does come back at the end, but that's because it has a function of a coda. Basically, that's the fascinating, that's the structure of it. The structure of it is special, and that's why a lot of people like it. But I think a lot of people like it even if they didn't know. A lot of people like this piece even if they don't know that this is in mirror image and that the note values are, indicative of, the speed. So even if, this structure is very structural, the structure isn't known, it's felt, and I think that's why a lot of people like it, because it is actually quite balanced. This piece is very balanced, and I've mentioned that before. I've said that this piece is very balanced, but it gives the impression that it is very ephemeral, improvisatory, and kind of like, up in the air. And it gives a feeling of uncertainty, kind of. But in fact, this entire piece is very, very balanced. That's the fact. So I've awakened you to Clair de Lune by Debussy. Let's do that again. Let's do that again. Like and subscribe. David says, such a gift with so much talent, always impressive, and what a joy listening to her play piano. Thank you. Yeah. So, in essence, in a very, very basic way, um, this is a two turning into three, turning into six, and then from six, that turns into faster threes of the six, and then returns to the six, and then returns to the three, and then two, and then it does a coda, and then at the very end, this left hand summarizes what has been going on in the entire piece. So you're gonna get that's six, and then double slow six, and the two groups of threes, and then yes. But I hope this helps you understand how balanced this is while sounding so improvisatory. And that's the magic of this piece, is that it's so structured and it's so balanced, and yet at the same time, people are thinking, oh, this is very ephemeral. Yeah. Magical, right? Okay, like, subscribe, join membership. Thank you. Thank you. Hi. Hello. Oh, are you Czech? My Czech friend gave me a nickname. She calls me Jagoda. You know what that means? Hi. Yeah, you know? Yes. Yes. She calls me Jagoda because I love strawberry so much. Yeah, she called me Jagoda. Her name is Marchetta. I think it means daisy, right? Lovely name. Thank you. Yeah. Prague has to be so pretty. Yeah. Hello. Yes. Yes, my friend. Yes. We used to take long, long walks together. Oh my gosh. She used to take me on a walk, and it used to be like a whole half a day thing, I think. Yeah. I miss her so much. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Marketa. I don't think she's watching, but yeah. Yes, of course. My pleasure. Merci. Oh, you're welcome. My pleasure. Yes. Um. All right. Let's go ahead and since we're debunking, or not debunking, but awakening to the truths of Ginopédie was yesterday. Today is Claire de Lune at Debussy, and shall we continue? What do you want to know? You could ask me anything. Yo, what's up? I like your style, very attire, very stylish. This says Darth Vader. Yeah, you like it? Do you think Darth Vader is very stylish? I appreciate that. I'll tell Darth Vader for you. I'm wearing Darth Vader costume. I got this from Star Wars Land. Yeah, they only sell it as Star Wars Land. Yeah. Thank you. Darth Maul. Oh, is it Darth Maul? Is it Darth Maul? Yeah, I got it from Star Wars Land. They only sell it there. I'm thinking about buying a backup because I like this so much. On you, it is always. Oh, thank you so much. I thought it looked familiar. Yeah. It's from Star Wars Land. It even has like the logo on the back. The Star Wars logo. Oh, hi Shishi. Love you too. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh yes, yes. Yes, yes. Yes, yes, him. He has the doesn't he have the double saber? It's on double side. So he has like the red and then the red and it's connected, right? So cool. Chopin next? You want to debunk or awaken to Chopin? Which Chopin? Oh, yes. Double red saber, yes. Oh, you know your stuff. Yeah, I was trying to think who it is. But yeah, maybe not Darth Vader, Darth Maul. Yeah. I'm wearing Darth Maul. Yeah, from Star Wars. Um uh it's not request time. I'm just gonna tell you the construction, the genetic makeup of maybe your favorite piece. Chopin? I like your way of talking about music. Oh, yes. Well, yes. Hello. Hi, hi. Yes, well, it's the truth about the pieces. So it should ring truth or true, yes. Do you want to know about the Opus 10 number 3? Sure. How you doing? Hey, Hannah. Hi, how are you? Hello, everyone. Hi, like, subscribe. Very close to France. Oh. France. Nocturne? Incredible poetry. Thank you. Gilletakayan. Oh, yeah. You mean etude? What a melody. Each time the same incredible emotion. This music is everything. Oh, I am touched. Glad you are. Great. Very nice. 안녕. Hello. 박망규. Let's go ahead. Good afternoon. Hi, hi. Well, Christine, that's the same C as Chopin. Yes, I am Christine. Christine. Cool. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Hey, welcome back. Cool, cool. Hey. Good afternoon. If anybody's looking for a like a lip gloss, but very like pigmented lip gloss, then uh over there, over there. And yeah, I get commission. Yeah. Hello, hi. How are you? Hi, hi. Oh, Sanchez, hug. Which one do I like more, YSL or Tom Ford? Gosh. Uh, I think I use YSL more. But I like the So Tom Ford's supposed to be like a kind of like a clean brand, like very it's supposed to be like, I guess, natural, like no parabens, no something something, no something something, no something. There's like a long list of things that they said they don't use. So it's supposed to be like health, like health conscious brand. Although it doesn't seem like it, right? Like, cause it just kind of seems like a typical luxury brand. Um, but yeah, there's like a long list of things that they said they don't use and things like that. So I think I prefer Tom Ford just cause I'm trying to be better with stuff I put on or eat or things like that. But I kind of grab a lot more I grab a lot more YSL than anything else. Um, but yeah, I think in terms of like better for your body, like better health conscious thing, I think Tom Ford's better. It's supposed to be, or it's supposed to be better. I don't know. Yeah, maybe you could check out their website or something. I don't know. But yeah, didn't know about it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, I don't think I've ever recommended The Musician's Way. What literature would I recommend? I would recommend classic literature. Um, Charles Dickens, William Faulkner, um, Tolstoy, Victor Hugo, um, Louisa Montgomery, or um, Alcott. Um, what is that else is there? Okay, well, sure, Harry Potter, Robert Frost. Um, I would recommend C.S. Lewis very much. Um, Tolkien. Uh, I would recommend. I would recommend classic literature. Um, Hemingway. Um, Steinbeck. I've read a lot of Steinbeck. I don't know why. Um, I know a lot of people read like Catcher in the Rye, but I found myself pretty fascinated with Winter of Our Discontent. Um, uh, maybe I think the picture of Dorian Gray was a little disturbing, so it kind of remained in my mind. White Sargasso Sea as well. It was the other side of, was it Jane Eyre? Yes. The Bronte sisters. You should read those. Yeah, I recommend classic literature. Um, I don't know. Is it Paul Bunyan? Shakespeare? Um, who else is there? Eliot. Uh, um, yeah, I recommend just classic literature. Mark Twain. Um, read a lot of literature. Um, and go in nature. That's how you become a better musician. When you have a lot of literature background and a lot of natural background, nature background, you become one of the best musicians. That's what I did. I read, when I was little, I used to read Tom Sawyer Adventure. um, you know, the original tales of, so and so. Hans Christian Andersen is one of my favorites. I've read a lot of children's literature too. C.S. Lewis, the Narnia books. Um, um, just a lot of, the entire Anne of Green Gables series, the Wrinkle in Time series, um, the Wizard of Oz series. um, uh, I've just read a lot of books. There's this book called The Castle in the Attic, Indian in the Cupboard. The root cellar is really sad. Bridge to Terabithia. I know it's really sad. Let's see. Where the Red Fern Grows. Pretty sad. I just read a ton of books. I've read like maybe almost the entire children's section at a public library. Like when I was like 8 or 9, I had like my cousins, I guess they're like a lot older than me, but I guess they had like the Nancy Drew books. So I used to read like Nancy Drew, a little bit of that. Sherlock Holmes. I was into Sherlock Holmes. Don Quixote, right? I do have Les Miserables. It's just very meaty. Um, Poor Jean. Anyway, yeah, I've just read a lot of books. Read classical literature, as much as you can. Classical literature, and even like classical adolescent books, like the Anne series, if you want. um, Little Women, Little Men, right? The sequel to Little Women is Little Men. And then, yeah, just a whole bunch of books. And then you read a lot of theory books. If you read a lot of theory books, especially books on Schenkerian analysis or structural hearing or Salzer, Kirby is actually a name of a textbook writer, Kirby. But anyway, yeah. And then, you read a lot of theory books, and then you read a lot of, I don't know, I used to have like, my aunt had these huge collection of like encyclopedia books. She had a huge library. I think she gave it all away, but she had these things called the World Book, and then there were the Encyclopedia Britannica. They were different, they were separate, but she had them. So I used to just read like letter A and just read them and compare the Britannica to the World Book, the World Book, and then like I would just grab like W and then just read it. And then I would read about Wales. And then I would try to compare the pictures to the Britannica version, and I was such a book person. I still am. I'm heavily into books, and I'm very much into books, and I've read a lot. Um, I've read, um, yeah, I've read a lot. Um, but music, it's kind of like writing a thesis paper. You have to have a lot of fuel to produce a correct piece of music. And I think, you know, a lot of people focus on, playing the scales, playing the arpeggio, playing this, playing that, playing loud, playing fast, playing soft, things like that. But, one of my professors said, you draw an eye, you draw another eye, you draw a nose, and you draw a mouth, but it's never a face. Like I said, it needs to have meaning. All these notes need to have meaning. And how do you have meaning to these notes that are different from our spoken language? But it functions like our spoken language. It's a system, it's a whole system. But how do you make sense of the entire system? Well, you gotta know their cultural background, right? What was trending during Chopin's time? Who were the trendiest painters, trendiest writers, trendiest books? It's the thought of the time that gets translated into the music. So, if you want to be a superb musician, and you think, oh, Christine, she studied with the world's best. She was a star student of so and so, a star student of so and so, a star student of so and so. She got picked, by these world's best. And that's how she's a fabulous pianist. Actually, there's a lot more. I think one of the best things to read, quite honestly, is the Psalms. Mark Twain read the Psalms a lot, right? You read the Psalms. Yeah, it's just there's a lot that goes into composing music, and so a lot needs to go into performing the music. It's like writing a thesis paper. You need to do your research, and then you could churn out, if you read like 100 books, then you could write 20 solid pages. It's that condensed. It's like this much, and you could pack it in 2-3 minutes. If you know a lot more, then you could maybe carry out a 30-minute piece. But to carry out that 30-minute piece, you had to have what kind of knowledge? An infinite bank of traditional knowledge, theoretical knowledge, technical skills, and everything. So it's kind of like writing a thesis paper, really. You've got to do your research, a lot of research. Good thesis paper, you would have done all your research. You would have examined all aspects and all views, perspectives, and then you would churn out like one thesis statement, right? And then you give like evidence, right? But that's like what a good, solid performance is. And I think, there's a misconception of what a good performance is. A good performance is really like a good thesis statement, like a good thesis paper. But in order to do that, you had to have what? Known like a library full of knowledge. So in order to play something like the Chopin Third Sonata, you need to know, like, what do you need to know? You need to know Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, you know, all of them, all that knowledge, and then Chopin. Because what does he use? He uses everything that has been done before. So if you want to play Rachmaninoff well, one person asked, I think, I don't remember, but one person asked, how do you play Rachmaninoff well? Is it Bach? Is it Brahms? Like what kind of composer does it? It's all of the above, really, because Rachmaninoff comes what after even Tchaikovsky, right? So then you have to know what Bach. If you know Palestrina, that's great too. If you know Mosho, that's great too. But I know Mosho, I know Palestrina, I know Rameau, I know, I know, and then I know, I know the literature movements, the literary movements. I know the visual movements. I know the performance movements of that time too. So not only do I know, like say in the time of Johann Sebastian Bach, I don't just know Johann Sebastian Bach. I don't just know this note. I don't just know this piece. I know everything that came before it, and I know what happened during that time. And that's how I perform it. That's actually what goes into, that's what I mean by concert pianists are a totally different breed. The best of us, at least, the best of the concert pianists, we were raised and trained to know all of this. So, I mean, it just looks like, oh, I'm playing Winter Wind, but no. Sturm und Drang, I think, or was it? I think I might be butchering that pronunciation, but it's the movement that started with, it's the romantic movement that started with da-da-da-da-da. When the etude, the Hanon etudes, right? When etudes has become, when Chopin creates art like this, right? It really means, he's in the thick in the middle of the romantic movement. Started with nationalism, right? The romantic idea. But that's just a broad, that's just a broad knowledge, right? But I know every single detail that needs to be learned about everything. So you just flesh everything out. And that's what concert pianists do. I fleshed it out to a point where, like, I even know, their fashion. I even know, what their room interior looked like, I even know, there's a lot of things I know that are maybe, maybe even becomes trivial, right? But there's a lot that goes on. So if you want to play Rachmaninoff well, yes, you need to know Rachmaninoff, yes. But please know that Rachmaninoff is a result of Bach, Mozart, Beethoven, Schubert, Chopin, Brahms, Liszt, Schumann, Tchaikovsky, and then whatever, and then you get Rachmaninoff. It's very hard to explain that, but that's in order to play Rachmaninoff well, you need to know that he is a result of hundreds of years of evolution, right? In order to play Chopin well, you need to know the hundreds of years that came before Chopin. And then what was going on during the times of Chopin, right? Uh, and how can you get a glimpse of that? Well, you know what? The literature, the books of the times, the books will tell you what you need to know. And even the novels, which are fictional, but it has all the embedded beliefs of that time. So you know the trend, right? The thoughts, the aesthetics, and you need to know that, right? So if you really want to know what concert pianist is like, that's how we are. We, in order to make that one statement, play this one piece, we know everything. We know everything there is to know about the piece. But beyond the piece, we know the history that led to the piece. And we know the historic events that were happening during that piece. We know the economic situations, the historic events that happened around that piece. We know, and that's how you make it rich. You flesh it out. And that's why, again, concert pianists are a totally different breed than just regular pianists. Regular pianists, they're focused on the piano, I guess. I don't know what they are. I've chosen a lifestyle that is very unique. So I don't really pay much attention to anybody else, but what I could say from encountering countless number of pianists, and then encountering the few of us that exist, the concert pianists, encountering both sides. What I could tell you is, from experience, I know that people who play piano are different from actual, real concert pianists. And I can't say that all concert pianists think like this or are trained like this and things like that. I've been trained by the world's best, and that is why I've been trained like this. It's a result of being world's best top student, star student. That's why I think like this, and that's how I live like this, and that's why I lived a one-of-a-kind lifestyle, a path. So, but, it's something that isn't very spoken. Yeah, but I could tell you, it's very different. What we do for the piano, what we do for the stage, real concert pianists are very few and rare. And what we do for the stage, for the performance, is different than just learning the notes, practicing the notes. We know everything there is to know leading up to this piece. And all the influences that this piece has had. And I don't need to research it. I just know it in my head. My mind, my brain is like a computer. I know more than what's available on Google. In search engines, I know, because some of these information is passed down only from the world's best to the world's best, and it's not online. So I have in my mind, in my brain, information that doesn't exist online. Anyway, if you want to play piano well, if you really want to know how to play piano well, read a lot of classical literature. And then you'll realize that it's all connected. Okay, well, like, subscribe, join membership. Kupi ku Clow. I love listening to you talk about music. Maybe a little more than when you play. You're so inspiring. I see. C has nice voice, right? Yeah. Oh well. My playing is a lot nicer than my voice. Hello. Cool. 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 Like, subscribe, join membership. Thank you. Let's see. And to be honest, it feels like I'm kind of like representing them, like as in like uh, like an attorney. I feel like I'm the one that's saying, hey, this is what he meant. This is how he feels. And this is legitimate and valid, even if it was written hundreds of years ago. It's still relevant. And that's what I feel like more and more these days as a concert pianist. I feel like their lawyer that I'm defending them. There's a lot of music or sounds that are flooding around, but I feel like when I play, sometimes I just feel like a lawyer. They deserve to be heard. This piece deserves to be heard. It deserves to be loved. It deserves to be respected. In a sea of a lot of materials out there, this deserves a place. This deserves a spot, and that's actually how I feel most of the time when I practice. I practice not for myself, but I practice so that Chopin in its original best form, in its original best, should be played. That it still exists, that it's not lost, that the cognitive decrease, or decline, the cognitive decline of maybe the world has not yet affected the existence of cognitive incline music. I feel a little bit like a lawyer most of the time when I practice, when I play pieces. I fight for these pieces to be in existence, to be heard the way it should be played, and to be appreciated. Yeah. Sometimes that's how I feel. Anyway, like, subscribe, join membership. Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Saturday. I might, I have a 2-segment of connecting the dots to do today, and then I have to drop by the mall. Darth Maul. Yeah, Darth Maul needs to drop by the mall today. But hope everyone's doing well. It is currently 2:45 p.m. The sun is out. It's very, very shiny outside. Anyway, I'm going to practice this a little, and then maybe I'll practice a little bit of Shubert. I'm in the mood for Shubert. Thank you. Oh my god, it's beautiful how you play the piano. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hope everyone's doing well. Happy Saturday. uh, let's see. I want to play a little bit of the Shubert. Maybe just the impromptus. Maybe a little bit of Opus 90. But more of like opus, the other opus, opus posthumous, I think. Opus 142, but isn't it like opus posthumous? But they like assign like an opus number, but it's like technically opus posthumous. I don't know. It's not loading? Oh. Okay. Hello. Hi, hi. I think a lot of people play this one. Well, in the case of certain music, okay, the goal is not to play as fast as you can. In case of certain music, the goal is to show the contour and the color, the proper color and the contour. That is actually more important than the speed. So, in this case, this is not considered an etude. So, it's an impromptu. So, yeah, you're supposed to concentrate on showing the contour and the color. So you'll have like a lot of the Schubert pieces, they have this thing called modal mixture, where you have, it goes between two different modes, the Aeolian and the Ionian, more popularly called the major and the minor. he will go back and forth the major and the minor like this. Um, there are other instances where this is done. Um, there are other composers who do this in some of their compositions, but traditionally, or Schubert is actually really known to go between these two modes. Kind of like back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, and so color change is extremely important in playing Schubert well. right. I'm gonna go into connecting the dots. Connecting the dots season 1 is coming to an end today. Connecting the dots season 2 is gonna actually include a lot more activities. So we're doing a grand finale of the season 1. It's actually a very I think it's just gonna be very short because we're just going over some rhythm stuff that we skipped over. But maybe the anticipation for season 2 is gonna be a little bit more. Yeah. Anyway, connecting the dots is a lecture series that I have on for members. And yeah. It's just like right now we're going over basic music theory, but we're gonna translate music theory into practical things, and then pretty soon when we translate into practical things and things like that, we're gonna get into how to play the Chopin Nocturne, how to play this impromptu, how to play the Moonlight Sonata, how to play this, and then I'm gonna break it down into yeah. So we're eventually working our way up to how to play all of these pieces that you see over there. Yeah. And that's what connecting the dots is, because the notes look like dots on the page, but we're connecting meaning to it, and we're connecting it to the piano, like practically. So that's why the series is called, the lecture series is called Connecting the Dots. We've just ended part 1. I'll call it season 1. And we're approaching the beginning of season 2. It's not too late to join us if you want. Join membership. Anyway, like, subscribe, join membership. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday. And if you're looking for lip gloss, look no further. Click on this link here. I'm earning commission, yes, but hold on. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, these are kind of like lip gloss. They're a little bit more pigmented though, but they're glossy. Kind of. They're a little pigmented though. Anyway, yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much. Like, subscribe. To remember, have a really wonderful weekend. I'm gonna go into connecting the dots. Bye. Darth Maul. That's my shirt. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Ooh. Bye, Sanchez. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye. Oh yeah? You're gonna see me tomorrow where? At Disneyland? Are you coming to Disneyland tomorrow? Is that how you're gonna run into me? Bye bye. Like, subscribe. Bye bye.